Good afternoon, Maha Lakshmi.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
It's good to see you today.
Thank you. You as well.
And I just attended your wonderful cooking class at the Sivananda Ashram in Grass Valley. And it's Taco Monday.
Taco Monday. Yeah.
You did an awesome vegan taco combination today. And you incorporate some Ayurvedic principles as well. The first dish you made was a Tomatillo Salsa. And you talked about the bitter taste and why that was important and why you roasted the tomatillos. Could you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it brings out their natural flavor, which is the sour, bitter taste, right? Bitter mostly, but it's also astringent. Tomatillo is also astringent. So it adds a depth of flavor after the roasting that creates a perfect type of salsa for the winter. So it's easily digestible, but it's very tasteful on the taste buds. So it can aid in the digestion process.
That's great. Well, those are two tastes of the 6 tastes in Ayurveda: bitter and astringent. They're lacking from our diet more than some of the other tastes. So it's great that you can incorporate those with this particular salsa. And roasting the tomatillas, of course, is good for the wintertime instead of having a raw salsa.
Correct. Correct. So instead of the fresco, you have a nice roasted flavor, which aids in the digestion process. So it can get a little sluggish in the winter. So to spike the taste bud and then yet have it digestible is wonderful.
That's
a very good combination.
Wonderful. And you used cumin as well. Did you use cumin seeds or the cumin powder?
I used cumin powder today.
Okay. And you also roasted the cumin powder?
I did, slightly.
Okay. Tell me any particular reason to roast the dry spice?
To roast the dry, it releases a little more oil and makes it a little more pungent, makes it a little more flavorful.
Wonderful.
So you use much less of the powder or the seed when you bloom them slightly, right? So you can really economize on your dishes.
Beautiful. And you're really bringing out the flavor as well.
Yeah, most definitely.
You also made a beautiful black bean soup today. Tell me about that and why that's important for wintertime.
Well, it's not necessarily important for wintertime, but it's high in protein. And it's one of the easy side dishes or accompaniment when you're making a roasted taco to have a nice warm soup. So with this particular soup, the black bean is pretty much the star. And you simply add in the red salsa and simmer it, and your soup is done. That's so beautiful. It literally, at the time it takes to prepare the beans, the soup is done, right? So occasionally I'll put in a stock. I didn't even use that today. I used a flavorful salsa and then just tepid water, warm water.
So this is really easy peasy.
Completely easy. Even though there's a lot of components, it's very easy.
Sure. And this is nice because a family going out to work can prepare the beans or do them in the Instant Pot. Pressure cook them in the morning or have that going during the day. And then they're going to add this salsa verde, the tomatillo salsa.
Or the red salsa, either salsa. One. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
And it really brings it into a beautiful home simmered meal. And so simple because the salsas are made in the blender, right? So there's no cooking involved after the roasting of the peppers.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. I know you also prepared refried beans and you talked about really how to lighten up your typical refried beans using pinto beans. Tell me a little bit about what you did versus the typical refried beans.
Well, the typical refried beans have a lard, usually are lard based, right? Out through Mexico, which can be a little bit heavy on the body, you know, and especially when we're trying to use no animal products. And so this is something that adds that animal product in. So to create a vegetarian bean, but still have that creaminess is it's a little bit of a challenge, but it's lucky because the pinto bean is so creamy naturally. So preparing the pinto bean until soft, and then starting a pan with a little bit of olive oil, and you can put in fresh celery. I happen to put in today just the olive oil, some salt and cumin. And then I allowed them to simmer, and then I mashed them gently and added in a little of the bean water. So it really permeates. And then we went a little bit off vegan and we used Cotija cheese today, which adds a little bit of a bite.
All right, a little more body. I love the fact that you reserve the bean water and that you use that because it's retaining the flavor of the beans.
And the starch. It mashes it.
It's starchy as well. That's great. I love that. Well, that certainly is a lighter version of doing refried beans with lard.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Or even a lot of oil.
Sure. Still not, I still wouldn't characterize refried beans as a light dish.
No, but this is surprisingly light.
Okay.
So
perfect.
It's more of a simple bean.
Beautiful. You also did 3 different kinds of chilies that I believe you roasted. And this is part of your taco filling. Tell me about those chilies that you use for that. Fresh chilies.
Right now in season, we have red pepper, red bell pepper.
Right.
And then we use pasilla, which is the kind of oval, poblano, and then a poblano.
Okay.
So nice.
Yeah, the poblanos are really...
They're gorgeous right now.
Really beautiful.
And they're so easy to prepare.
Okay. And you basically, did you dry roast those or did you put oil?
Dry roast, no oil.
Okay,
yeah.
No oil in the pan?
Nope.
Wow.
Just right onto the sheet pan with a little jalapeno and then a whole tomato. And you can just roast it all together.
And how long would you roast that?
Today I did it about 20 or 25 minutes.
Okay.
And
a high temperature, like
it was 350 to 400.
Right. Okay.
I had just finished granola, and so the oven was still very hot. So I put it into a hot oven.
Okay. So it's preheated, and then you added just salt and lime juice.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah.
Incredible.
It sounds delicious.
The peppers right now are so in seasoned.
Okay.
So they're just beautiful. So we have sometimes an impression that peppers are very spicy and they dominate. But if they're balanced, they have this wonderful sweet flavor that comes through.
Sure. Well, especially when they're roasted.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And
roasted.
I love the fact you used a variety of peppers. Okay. And is it pepper season in California now?
It is.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this. That's cool. You also said it's important to have a crunch in your taco.
Definitely.
So tell me about your crunch. What did you do today?
So today, avocados are also in season. So we were able to get some beautiful Hass avocados. Okay. So what I normally do is I add that with a little crema or yogurt or anything that gives you that bite. I didn't have that today. So all I did was peel the avocado and pit it and then put it in a blender. And then this time I added just a little bit of water to get it creamy, to a creamy consistency.
Sure.
And then I blended or I tossed it with cabbage.
All right, wonderful. So for the avocado dressing, so avocado, water, and salt?
Salt.
That's
it. And lime.
And a little bit of lime. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful. I also love the color of it on the cabbage as well in terms of the taco. It really added to it. It was cool.
Yeah. And it kind of gets a little mundane if it's that one bite of pepper.
Sure.
So a little of the bean, the cotija cheese, and then the dressed coleslaw.
Oh,
is a nice bite.
Really beautiful. And your tortillas, you said that you make your tortillas in the summertime, but in the winter, it's a little more. There's a lot going on here. So we had this. You had the store-bought tortillas,
absolutely
organic, of course. And you said you can toast them, dry toast them on the pan, or toast them in a little bit of oil. And you decided to put a little bit of oil. Is there a reason for that?
It gets a little crispier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just
you can get it crispier,
just for a better crisp.
Okay. When I'm making them away from the cooking class, I will just put them over a hot flame. So I'll burn them on both sides. So char them.
Sure. And that will get them nice and crispy as well. Okay. Beautiful. So the component parts of your taco, you have your tortilla and then your beautiful refried beans, not with lard, but with olive oil.
And you just paint them on. So very simple.
Beautiful. And then you have your roasted peppers, your salsa verde, and your dressed cabbage. Did I miss anything?
And then a little of the red salsa.
That's right. You made a red salsa as well. That's fantastic. Let's see. Is there anything else? And I know at the very end of the cooking class, you talked about that this was an opportunity for you to make a family favorite, a taco night, a healthier version. Okay. So that's really awesome. And was there anything that your class participants had to say about family favorites, healthy version, or anything else you
Well,
want
we
to
have
share?
requests for the recipes, so that's always nice. And again, it's the beautiful thing in the winter that you're starting to look into is things that are a little bit easier, right? So in the summertime with tacos, you have all the accompaniments and the crema and the different kinds of cheeses, and everyone's din in this. But these are a little quiet, a little roasted, and they're a little bit more thoughtful.
Okay.
So it's a nice summer dish in the winter.
So it's a winterized
Summer favorite.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Maha Lakshmi. I so appreciate you being with me today.
Thank you.